Welcome to the radio show that puts you first. The only show designed by doctors in your very own neighborhood, putting the community they serve first. The community is one of the most important elements in maintaining continuity amongst its citizens. And this team of doctors are some of the best medical professionals.
Hey, what's going on? I am Jennifer Brown, and you're tuned into The Perspective, a show where we discuss candidly and share openly about thought-provoking topics that affect our community. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on Kbob 89.9 FM. You are now tuned in to The Perspective. Hello, and welcome to The Perspective.
Hello, Tulsa. This is Janetta Tolles with Sunday Dinner and More by Janet, your weekend soul spot. Every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. We're located 5.
Why is it doing this? No, just go here without that. Okay. Hello, and welcome to The Perspective. I am your girl, Jen Brown. We're having a couple of technical difficulties, but we're going to get it under control. So glad you guys have decided to join us for another great show. We are here with some awesome guests that are in studio. I'm excited for you guys to hear these authors' books, about their books and what they've been doing. And I'm just hoping that you guys will connect and buy their books. So how are you guys doing today?
We are awesome. Great.
Doing great?
Yes.
How's your week been?
Productive.
Yeah.
It's hump day.
Yeah, it's hump day.
Definitely busy, but very expressive is the word I would say.
Yeah. Expressive. Okay.
Expressive. So all right, so we're back.
It's all right. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get this. It's okay. Technical difficulty.
This is an interesting moment.
We're in the middle of a solar eclipse and retrograde and all this other stuff.
Whatever it is.
Look, you better get up out of here.
It needs to go.
Right.
But I'm glad you guys are here for another great show. We have Miss Lawana Bumpers Harris and C Note and Sashi Hussein that is going to be in the studio with us today. They're going to be talking to us about their books and their journey on writing them. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and when I come back, we're going to dive into the conversation.
Sounds good.
and press 1 to go live.
To all of our listeners and sponsors who donate to help keep our media program alive, reaching the community, the Juice Radio Network continues to expand as influencers in the community of North Tulsa and beyond, but can't do that without your help. That's why it's important that we as a community continue to support the Juice Radio Show and keep 89.9 on the air. The community not only deserves this service, but needs this service. Let's continue to support the mission and giving a voice to the voiceless and donate to the Juice Radio Show. The Juice Radio Show is a nonprofit 501c3 powered by KBOB 89.9 and Eden Media Services, operating solely off the gifts, donations, and contributions made by listeners like yourself. All donations made to the Juice Radio Show are tax deductible and can be sent to 1216 North Lansing Avenue, Suite D, Tulsa, Oklahoma 74106.
It's Tulsa, I see you here in Tulsa. I'm in Tulsa, Jimmy.
We appreciate your continued support, and thanks for listening to KBOB 89.9 FM.
Hey, what's going on? I am Jennifer Brown, and you're tuned into
The Perspective,
a show where we discuss candidly and share openly about thought-provoking topics that affect our community. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on KBOB 89.9 FM. You are now tuned in to The Perspective. All right, welcome back. We are The Perspective, a show where we discuss candidly and share openly about thought-provoking topics that affect our community. We're here with some great guests in studio today, having a couple of technical difficulties, but we are going to get it under control. So I have Miss Lawana Harris Bumpers, or Miss Lawana Bumper Harris. Just Harris. And then I have C Note, and then I have Sashi Hussein that is going to be discussing their books today. So I want to start with you, Lawanda. Tell me a little bit about your journey. Tell me a little bit about yourself first.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Lawana Harris. I'm actually born and raised here in Tulsa. I went to college in Atlanta, and I came back about 15, almost 16 years ago. A senior consultant at a global organization, and I've been in ministry or some form of ministry leadership probably for over the last probably 10 plus years. And so this book that I have is called Vision Beyond Measure. It's a 30-day interactive devotional that is helping you to discover your next step. And this book was something that was on my to-do list or my vision list or whatever, has been for the last few years. And it came about as, post-divorce, where I really wanted to offer other women and other people a way to, go through their healing process. I just never sat down to write it.
Okay.
So, however, I was in an internship at my church last year, and we had to study the word. We had to get into the word. We had to dig into the word. And those papers that I submitted turned into my devotional.
Your book. Oh, wow.
So it was kind of by default. It was in the plans. It was in God's plans, but it was also in his timing. So if it was left up to me, I probably would have never sat down to write it.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
So tell me what the journey was like.
So it was very kind of revelatory. And I say that because we have different seasons in our lives. And so you can read a scripture, you can read a story in the Bible, you can read something in the Bible that in one season it hits you a different way. And then the next season it hits you totally different. You can read that same scripture over and over again, or that same passage or that same story, but every season or every point in your life, you're gonna get something different. And so the journey was, like I said, it was revelatory. It was just bringing myself to myself, if that makes sense. It was something that it was a seed that had been planted, and it just kind of manifested. It was just a way where I was learning even more about myself, but also learning more about God's purpose for my life.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I haven't started it yet, but I've been looking through it, and it's great. Great
you.
material.
Yes, thank you.
So we're going to jump over to Mr. C Note and Miss Sashi. So tell us a little bit about your journey on your book.
My name is Shashi Hussein. I was a full-time teacher at a medical school in New York City. Moved to Tulsa in 1981 and started my practice in 1982, and have been there, same place for the past 40 plus years. I was a teacher, and I never ever thought that I would be in a kind of business. Although it is I'm very privileged and very lucky to be in a medical business or medical practice where I can actually do what I always wanted to do. That was to be of help to people. And my book actually was it happened because from moving from as a teacher to a person who owns a business, and when you are in a business, you have to have other personnel, other personalities, people come and work with you because it's a group. You can't just do things alone. And as years were passing, and as I was working with different persons, I came across different personalities, different people from coming to me from all walks of life, and and how, we were strangers and we became friends and we became family and we became like a small community. And I always call them my second family, my work family. And it was very interesting. Some good things, some bad things, some interesting things. And so I decided to put it down as as a book, so that I will be able to express myself, what I was experiencing and feeling.
Okay.
And I'm lucky to be able to finish.
That's good. That's good. Mr. Cino?
It's all about this work. It's all about the written word and the spoken word. We're serious about that expression and be able to understand that what we write down will live forever and it lives past us. It gives other people their own time to interpret and learn not only what we share, but they learn themselves through what we choose to inform them with by the works and the expression that we give. Because my insight into the world that I live is the reality that I have to bring you into. But it's going to be based on your interpretation, your experience. So the goal is not only to share a story, it's to share lives so that we can actually develop from each other and grow from there.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, Miss Luana,
Yes.
let's dive into your devotion.
Let's do it.
All right. So, this is a 30-day 30
30
devotion.
days. Yes.
And what will people get out of it once they've read it?
So you will get out of, if people say that it takes about 30 days for you to create a new habit. So out of these 30 days, there is a section for you to actually read. And there's an application. So there's a reflection piece. There's a way that you can apply it to your life. And then there's an actual prayer. So if you're consistent, if you read it, you are really digging deep into it, you're going to get some type of revelation of what your next step is. Whether it's going to be like a confirmation of what he's already told you. It's going to be some level of next direction, next step, next opportunity. And I truly believe that, because that's literally what happened to me when I was writing the book. That was the next step after my internship. So that was the next step. And I always believe that there is always a next step. So once you complete one thing, or once you finish, one thing, there's always something more. There's always something next. There's always that next thing, until you actually are like, okay, I've done everything that I'm supposed to do. I've done everything that I'm called to do. I've done everything that God has imparted in me to do. And so that's what you're going to take away if you are really into it. You're taking the time to dig into it. And then also, I'm really praying that it will lead you to study the word even more, because this is just a little piece. This is little pieces of my life that I'm sharing. That you talked about sharing stories and sharing your lives. And sometimes that catches people and that helps people develop in ways that, other, just by reading the book or listening, may not be able to do. So sharing stories, it's a tap into what I was kind of going through or learning in the process. So there's going to be some revelation.
That's good.
I truly believe that.
So your book it's about purpose. So tell me, why is it important for you to walk in your purpose?
Oh, so this is my topic right here. This is the topic. It is so important to walk in purpose. So my purpose has been since about 2010, 9 or 10. was revealed to me to enlighten, encourage, and empower others to live to their fullest potential through personal professional development. So it's important to walk in purpose, first of all, to understand what you are here in purpose to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's important because everything that you do in life is going to be tied to that purpose. It's going to help you make better decisions. It's going to help you say yes to the things that you need to say yes to. It's going to help you say no to the things that you need to say no to. It's really going to help guide you into the area of where you need to be to affect other people's lives. Purpose is important because you're designed for a particular purpose. All of us are designed for something. The same people that I am designed for, or I am to minister to, or enlighten, or encourage people, is not the same people that you are, Jennifer, or Sashi, right? That it's not. It's totally different.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to walk in purpose for the people that we're called to. If we don't, then there may be a chance that somebody that needs to hear the stories, they may not hear the stories, or they may not get what they need to be their best selves. So we're all connected. We all are here to minister to each other. So if you're not walking in purpose, then you are literally like, you are not keeping people from their purpose, but you are not allowing people to get what they need from you.
Yes.
If you're not walking in your purpose, if
Mm-hmm.
you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So people are waiting on you.
Yeah.
To,
people are
to
waiting.
do what you need to do, right?
Absolutely.
So,
They're waiting because, like you said, it's important for you to be walking in purpose, and for those that are going to be behind you,
mhm.
it's going to help them.
Mhm.
Let's talk about this new this event that you have coming up soon.
Yeah, so it's actually on Sunday. It's my official book launch and discussion luncheon. The last day to register is tomorrow, 5 p.m. tomorrow, and I'm cutting it off, shutting it down. But it is that's where we're gonna have a discussion. Usually you hear where people have book clubs, but we're going to discuss the book. We're going to talk about it. We're going to inspire and motivate each other.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the official launch of the devotional. And it is, if you already have the book, it's $35. And with that, you actually get my ebook that I wrote a few years ago. And you'll get and the lunch is included. However, if you don't have the book, then it's 45, and you'll get the book, you'll get the ebook, and you'll be able to come to the luncheon.
Nice.
At 3:00 on Sunday at Roca.
On time.
On time. We start on
Nice.
time.
Start on time.
We
Yes.
start on time.
Start on time. Be there.
Right.
Or be square.
Yes. And spaces are limited. So if you would like to register, please do. And again, tomorrow is the last day.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to you.
Awesome.
Let's get over here with Miss Sashi and C Note. Miss Sashi, tell me what inspired you to write this book.
First of all, I have always been interested in writing. I used to write a journal as a very young child, and I documented each and every vacation that we have taken till this date. So when I started my private practice, I was exposed to a different kind of environment. I was, uh, you know, seeing people who worked for me coming from all walks of life and bringing a different personality, a different behavior, all different. And it was very interesting to me. So the best thing was for me to adopt to them, because an office is like a family. You can have a house, but unless the people in it get along, it just does not become a home.
That's right.
So that's why I thought, okay, let's see what we can do. But to my surprise, most people that came, they came as different persons, but after working with each other, they became different in a good way. But there were some where the personalities clash, and that some of it was humorous, some of it was horrifying, some of it was like you have never seen, and so, most of it was very nice. So instead of me just experiencing it personally and going and telling my people at home about it, I thought it's better to put it down because it's an experience not everybody has. And even if they have, maybe they don't share it with everybody.
Mhm.
And I agree with what C Note said and what she said about sharing your experiences because that's how it becomes permanent.
Yes.
Otherwise, you just take it in and it's gone.
Mhm.
So that was my inspiration. And plus, it is in my genes. My father was a publisher and he wrote many books. So even as a child, I was exposed to when a new book would be launched for my father, it was like Christmas.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was always in my blood that I would do it someday.
Okay, that's good. So, what's the title of your book?
The book is called Front Office. Although it's front office, you can have front office everywhere. It belongs to a medical practice, but it has nothing to do with medicine. It is all about different people that work in offices. And it can be any office. It can be a doctor's office, it can be a lawyer's office, it can be a school, wherever group of people work. And everywhere, whenever you work somewhere, there's somebody at the front who greets you and who is the inlet to that organization. So that's why I called it front office. I had thought about this title long before I wrote the book. I just knew that that's what I want to call it. And I think it speaks for itself about what is inside the book.
Oh, that's good. So,
Names changed to protect the innocent.
Right.
so what has been your part in this, C Note?
For this particular book, I'm actually the publisher of this book. With Doc, I can't call it all. I call us Doc, so I can call them other names. I'm actually the publisher of the book to help her to bring her inspiration to life and handling all the promotion for it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to interject. C Note, I have known for a long time. And what impressed me about him was his name. I mean, you know, and he and I have worked on another book, which was actually a tribute to my father. And it was a limited edition. We did not launch it or publish it. It was for the family and friends. And he impressed me a lot. I mean, I knew that I can rely on him. I knew that I don't have to go to 10 different persons for all the things that go in the publishing of a book. So I'm glad that I know him and he helped me a lot.
Thank
That's
you.
good. So let's talk support systems. What are some support systems within the medical field?
The support system in medicine is like any other business. I am just one person. I run the practice, but I'm nothing. If my support system, the office staff is not there, and it is in the book also that there have been times due to whatever, and that's the humorous part of it, that there have been times where there are patients are there, I'm there, but there's nobody to help me. So that without the support system, without the office staff, without the front staff, there's nothing. There's nothing. And so it has to be a collaborative effort of everybody put together to finish the job. And this is every day.
Mm-hmm.
If you have one person missing, it's like, in the chain link. If one link is missing, it's not a chain.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we are. We just all work together. We have our jobs assigned and unassigned job. That is where the group comes together, that we have to do it right, we have to finish the job, and then go home satisfied. So that is what I mean by the support system.
Okay. So I'm listening to all of this, and I want to just say congratulations on your launch of your books.
Thank you.
I need to get a copy of your book. I need to get a copy of that. And we got a lot of great things that we're going to be talking about, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking to Miss Lawana again.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, we're back. We're back with the guests that we have in studio. Um, let's dive more into your journal. Um, the women that you're helping, it's it's gonna be it's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me who your target audience is.
So, women that are the target audience would be women that have gone through just difficulties in their life. There's not a specific age group because I think at every season or any season of your life, you can go through challenges. But I know that there's always a way out, just in support, and there's always um, again a next step. There's always something that is going to bring you out if you allow yourself to be brought out of challenging situations. So people who are still trying to find out or deepen their relationship with God, people that are trying to find their purpose. I say women because that's just what I am, and that's how the challenges that I've gone through as a woman. However, men can also be inspired by it as well. So if you're reading and you find yourself, because I do know that men go through challenges as well, and men go through issues, and you raising your hand like yes, so they go through things, and they're trying to find their purpose as well. They're, especially with so many things that's going on, in the social arena, the people, men are trying to find themselves. And so it's for those people that are really wanting to heal and really wanting to find out what is God saying to me in this season. And it's kind of giving you that accountability, because sometimes people just need a space to write it out. Like they need the application. I don't know how to apply it. So let me really sit down and think about how this is applied to my life. And then be specific about your prayer about, that particular devotion. Like there's different titles, entitled Blurred Vision and Free. And what is God saying to you, and how are you going to apply that? And what specific prayer do you need to pray at that particular moment about being free or about having a blurred vision? What do you want in that specific moment? So it really is about just getting closer, digging deeper, and for people that want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking over some of the chapters, and I'm excited to start the devotional.
I'm glad.
Because some of the chapters, like keep your focus on God,
Mm-hmm.
use your gifts,
Mm-hmm.
be bold in your faith,
Mm-hmm.
all those things. You gotta do the work.
Absolutely.
You gotta do the
Absolutely.
work. So I'm excited to dive into this and get going with it. It's a great book. So tell me, what is one of your favorite devotionals?
Oh Lord. Oh, let me see. I don't know them by heart. I just wrote them. Let me see. Let me see what I have on here. Let's see. Probably maybe keeping your focus on God, or Faith is Action. I think faith is action, simply because when you are desiring to do something, or you have a vision to do something, it's not going to get done unless you take a step of faith. And a step of faith just literally means that even if you don't know the next step, even if you don't know exactly how it's going to pan out, even if you don't know um, the ins and outs, or how it's just going to happen, how you're going to get the money, how are you going to do this, you don't have to have it all together to take a step of faith. And it just takes a step to for your next step. there's a actually a movie that I refer to, and it is one of the oh gosh, one of the movies, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And so, right. And I was like, what's the movie? I couldn't even think of it, but Indiana Jones. And one particular movie, there's a scene where he has to cross over to another side, but to his naked eye, there's nothing to step onto. And so he hears, I think it was his father, he hears him just to take a step. And as soon as he actually takes the step, then it lights up the whole entire bridge where he's able to get to the other side.
Mm.
And so that is just, that's huge to me, because all we need to do, and all God as sometimes asks for us to do, is just take a step.
Yeah.
And he's going to give us enough light for that particular step. And then he'll give enough light for the next step. And then he'll give enough light for the next step. But all we have to do is take action and take a step.
Take a step.
Just take a step.
That's good.
Yep.
I like that. Take a step. So let's go back to Miss Sashi. You said that you changed the names in the book to protect people. Are you able to share some of the stories that are in the book?
There are so many stories, but I'd like to mention just one of them was that this guy came to see me as a patient. And when I asked him to write, we always take the demographics, their names and everything. He left everything blank. Then I came to know that he's homeless, and he was just traveling through Tulsa and had some problem and was referred to me. So after I saw him and I did what I had to, next day he comes to my office with his wife and 5 children who are under like 7 years old. So the whole waiting room is full of him and his family. And he told me that forget about getting medicines. I don't even have a place to go or feed my children. And if I tell anyone, they will take away my children.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to hide. I don't want. And just to cut the long story short, that is where my support system, my staff,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it by myself. So we said, okay, right now it's not the time to just bring in new patients and see. It's time to work together and try to get help. And on that very day, we had a social worker come to my office and take over the case and help him. And and I'm sure good things happened because he never had a phone. We never had cell phones that time. So the social worker informed me weeks later that she got all the needed help and the guy is doing fine.
Nice.
So that was one of the things. And the other one was this 24 years old patient comes to the office, very good looking, very put together, and with a problem. She brought a newborn, like 3 months old, and in a little baby cot. And she's talking to me, and I found out that she has 4 children.
Oh,
They
wow.
were all step ladder, 1, 2, 3, 4. And she started to cry. She says, I can't take care of this baby. And she almost alluded to it that if she could, she would just get rid of this child. She happened to be in a office, in one of the office rooms where there is an exit door also. So I said, oh my God, if I leave the room, this girl is going to walk out, then I'll be left with a 3-month-old child.
Yeah.
So that's again where we put our heads together and found the resources and help her take care of whatever it was. These are just some social work type of things, but there are so many medical things that were done, suggested by me, but carried on by my staff. And we are very lucky to be in that situation that we come through for people. Most of the times, it's never always. You cannot help everybody. But
Yeah.
most of the times, it works out. So we were able to, kind of do things. And some of these things I can see them in front of my eyes while I'm talking to you.
That's good. So, what is your source of inspiration after years of experience, and How is mentoring important to new doctors?
My source of inspiration, like I said, is it has always been my father. But one of the other reasons for writing this book is, when we take, like she says, taking a new step, you're always scared. What is there for me?
Right.
Same thing. If you want to start a new chapter in your life, whether it's your new job, changing a job, starting a business, getting into a relationship, buying a new house, leaving your old friends, do it, because this is an encouragement. It tells you that after whatever you go through, things work out.
Absolutely.
The main thing that you have to do is adapt yourself. You don't always have, it's like you marry somebody and you think he will change and look like what I want him to be. No, you have either meet halfway, or you change, or
Yeah.
don't change. Things like that. Same thing in any kind of uh, community work, or in any kind of office setting. Just take that first step. Just do. And then if you want to make it, it will happen. So that is an encouragement. There are the new uh, physicians that come, and they are always afraid to be on their own. That we want to just somebody, I want to pay check and I want to go home, or start a new job, and there are always so many ifs and buts. What will happen? What if I don't make it? What if the money is not enough? Or take a chance. And then then things happen. If you don't take a chance and you just think about it, no, you will only be stationary. And what happens when you're stationary? We all know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the inspiration, that something has to be done. I have done my part. I have worked half of my life in this business, and there are youngsters that need to know more about it. In fact, one of my friends, she's she's written several books. She read my book, and she wrote some comments which I really like. And she says, this is an inspiration to the young physicians, which I don't, it's not a medical book, who want to be on their own, to learn. You can go through tough times, but there is always that pleasantness that happens, which you cannot forget. So that's why.
That's good. Miss Luana.
Yeah, I was just asking her just to respond to the kind of just piggyback on what she was saying. You have to do the work, and I think that's what she was even mentioning. You have to do the work, and you
Absolutely.
have
Yeah.
to take responsibility for the growth that you want in your life. It's not just enough to say I want this or I desire this. You have to do the work,
Yeah.
and that's mental work, that's spiritual work, that's physical work,
Absolutely.
that's all of that. And I mean, in order to do that, you have to do the work. You have to do the internal work, and the external.
And
That's what
you
you're desiring.
cannot do your work based on the result that you're expecting. No.
Yeah,
Do
right.
your work and then see
Yes.
what results you get.
Yes.
And if that result is not what you want,
Then change it.
change it or do more.
something. Right. Right.
And things work out.
Yes.
Only for those who continue, who are persistent, and who are ready to adopt and work, not by themselves, work with others, ask for help when you want to, give help when you are needed to. Only then you survive. You can't just be me, all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it has
Good.
to develop in passion. That's the one thing we do forget
Yeah.
within that not keeping the fear, is that passion must supersede any fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is faith.
Yeah.
Without works, as
It's
they say,
dead.
is
It's
dead.
dead. Exactly.
So, and those works
Exactly.
begin
Yeah.
within yourself. Even
Yes.
having the choice of yourself is saying,
Yeah.
I can fail by not doing, I can
Yeah.
fail do.
Yeah.
The goal is to do. You must continue always.
And one of the scriptures I love, it says, God's perfect love casts out all fear.
Yes.
So if you are walking in that internal love, God's love, like that's gonna push out the fear and it's gonna bring that passion, because passion is what's gonna get you up in the morning
Right, right.
when you're not even making or doing what you feel like is being profitable, or it's not touching. There have been times, and I'm sure you all felt it, like, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Is it
Yes.
really being impactful?
Yes.
And that passion is what keeps you going to say, you know what, even if I just I remember one young lady, she inboxed me and she said, I really this is what I needed right now. If that book wasn't written just for her,
Right.
that's it. Like, I'm good with that, because it's just a matter of the passion that, like, I'm just being used. I'm just being the vessel. You're just being the vessel. The stories is what is fueling the impact, and it's, so I just,
Yeah.
it is, that's that
And as you
passion.
say, you must share yourself,
You
because if
got
you don't share
to.
yourself, we often forget in sharing ourselves the impact that it's going to have on someone else
Yeah,
that we may never see,
never
we may never
see,
talk to, but
right,
we still have made a change within that
absolutely,
stand.
Yeah, and
absolutely,
don't be afraid of failure. Don't be
right,
afraid.
yeah,
And somebody once mentioned that you should go to work because you want to, not because you have to, but make it that you want to.
yeah,
You don't have
yeah,
to, okay, I don't want to. Today is Saturday or today is Friday, I want to have a long weekend. No, make it that you want to go to work on that Friday also. So that's, it's a lot of things depend on us.
yes,
Yeah.
What we want to be, what we want to
absolutely.
do, and then leave the outcome. Things happen.
Yes.
It will be in our favor.
Yes. That's
Because
good.
tomorrow's not promised, so do everything
Do
you can do today.
everything
Yes,
today.
exactly.
I know there's a quote. Well, it's not really a quote. It's just a saying. Um, I thought I was when I thought I was failing, I was passing the test. And it's like, we sometimes use, like you said, don't be afraid of failure.
No.
You know, but sometimes people will stop because they think they're failing,
Right.
but they're actually passing the test and what they
Absolutely.
need to be doing.
Yeah. And I don't like using the word failure, just because in every situation, I truly believe that all things work together for good of those who love God and called it according to his purpose. So I believe that when you think it's not a failure, it's just a lesson learned.
Yeah.
You know not to do that again, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know that doesn't work. But so that's something that you learn. I didn't fail. The only time that I fail is when I stop doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That's a
Exactly.
failure.
Yeah.
But if I keep going, you keep going, we all keep going and continue to do the work, then it's growth. I don't think it's failure.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
when you stop
Yeah.
growing, that's failure.
There is
Yeah.
a joke in my office, I tell the girls, I said, I never make a mistake. That means I've made a mistake today. And it's just, so every time I do that, I just, I never make a mistake. They said, we know that you don't make a mistake because that is just happened today. So,
Uh-huh.
so if you make a mistake, move on.
Mhm.
And that does not mean you have failed. You have
Right.
learned
Learn
from the
from it.
mistake you
Yes.
made, and next time you don't do it.
Right.
So these were, there's so many stories in it that
Mhm.
I learned, and I knew that I really have to do something. There's something happened to me right in the beginning. This girl came to me, very, like she could be my daughter, very nice girl, and I hired her. And then soon I realized, those days, the girls were not wearing scrubs, they would come in anything they want to.
Mm.
And within a week, I realized that she only had two outfits. One outfit was all, kind of organza type of thing with big sleeves, black and white. And the other one was satin. And I saw that. I said, she wears, it's like, she's working in a theater or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't say anything. So after she got her first paycheck, then I spoke to her. I said, you know what? I think we should do a little bit different thing. And so if you want to buy scrubs and all, that poor girl did not have money to buy clothes. She did not have a place to live. She was like a paying guest somewhere. And what happened? She was in bad company.
Mhm.
And she listened to me, good worker. And one day I always go to the hospital before I come. I got a call from the building manager that there's police here. Her boyfriend came and beat her up
Oh,
so
wow.
bad that they both had to be taken to the hospital. And then I came to know things which I didn't mention, what she was, where she came from, and she was trying to better herself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that I gave her that little bit of window. And after about 25 years, I ran into her in the hospital. You wouldn't even believe that it's the same girl.
Wow.
So mature,
Mm-hmm.
dressed professionally, has a good job, married with children. So
Mm-hmm.
we all, if she had at that time given up, my boyfriend is beating me up, I don't have clothes to wear, I can do something bad or something, she wouldn't be where she is. That's an example.
Yeah.
So we just have to
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
learn from our
learn from
And grow,
failures.
yes.
grow.
Yeah.
Grow. Yeah.
Yeah. And also as you were talking, that's where that support system comes in. Where
Yes,
as you're no matter how small the support
that
is,
is right.
you have to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
And do it
being perfect.
together.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid that, oh, I'm not going to ask this person. Yes, you are,
Mm-hmm.
because you
Ask for
cannot do
help.
it
You don't know
alone.
where your
You know,
blessings gonna come from. Ask
Yes.
for
exactly,
help.
Ask
You
for
don't know
help.
where your
exactly.
blessings
Yeah.
come from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us another story. This is interesting. This is what your book is really about, right?
It has so many. It's all about people who have worked with me. I
Mm-hmm.
would not say work for me,
Mm-hmm.
because I worked with them, so we worked together.
Mm-hmm.
And they came from literally, I've seen whole of America, because they came from different places and became something different. One of the girls, it's in the book, she was her mother was German and father an American. How the American veterans, they brought German wives. So they never married, and this girl was born. So but as she knew her father. As she grew older, her father sent her a ticket to come and visit him. Lo and behold, something happened to the plane emergency landing in Tulsa. So she's there, and she goes to eat at one of the restaurants where a Mexican waiter she met. And to cut the long story short, she said, I'm not going to meet my father in LA. She stayed, married that guy, and opened a restaurant,
Oh wow.
and learned English.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow the restaurant didn't work out. She came and worked with me forever and ever, and she's still my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
She's moved on, she's not working now, but she comes every so often. We have lunch together, we sit down and we reminisce, what we did and we did not do.
Mm-hmm.
And so these many of them I am in touch with them.
Mm-hmm.
They are my friends, and I know their families, their children have grown. I know, everything about them. They keep me posted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something I will not. If I was asked to do something again in my wherever I am, I will do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Work with people,
Mm-hmm. Work
not
with people.
yeah,
Because it's about humanity in the end.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
You dealing with personalities, you learning. It may be from the eye, from a medical view, so it gives that relationship for other people that go through that and don't necessarily have that family structure,
Mm-hmm.
but it gives them benefit, the understanding, and having hope, and knowing that we are, as she said, in this together. Because it is, a
And
support system.
that's how I met Sino too.
Yeah.
We won't go into that detail, but
Yeah.
I met him through one of the girls who worked with me.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
still, she still comes, and we know each other very well.
Because besides for art and stuff, people know I do computers. So, I'm an IT.
Yeah,
background,
you're
Yeah.
IT guy.
Yeah,
so-
that's what he does.
IT guy. The geek squad.
No.
No.
We're not going to say that. We're not going to say that. But yeah, we're blessed.
Blessed. Yes, that you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, what kind of doctor are you?
I'm a neurologist,
Okay.
and I deal with brain and spine, and my specialty is headaches. And I have been practicing um, for more than 40 years.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And as much as my husband would like, I have no plans to retire.
No plans to retire. Not
No,
anytime
well,
soon.
as long as you're going,
Yeah.
as long as the clock is ticking, let
Yes.
it tick.
And you have passion for it.
I again, you remember I told you, you go to work because you want to,
Yes.
not because you have. I don't have to,
Hmm.
So as long as that passion is there, yes.
That's good. So in our last few minutes, I want to ask, what I'll start with you, Luana. What would you like to leave the audience with, um, before we go off air?
Yeah. Just to make sure that you are, as I said, as I mentioned earlier, you take responsibility for your growth, whether that's personal, spiritual, professional. And just know that there always is going to be that next step. There's always something that's after this. So whatever season, whatever challenging moment you're in, it's not going to last forever. It's temporary. um and just make sure that you have that relationship with God, because that's where it's going to get, you're going to get that revelation, you're going to get that guidance. So I just would just encourage people to do that. Find your purpose, walk in it, and do what you're supposed to do.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Miss Sashi.
Well, I will really like them to, if they can, read the book and learn that if you are going through some hard times right now, professionally or at home, just keep on going, make changes, keep on doing what your heart desires, but what helps you, and believe in a communal sense, ask for help, give help, and don't be afraid that no, I have to do it alone, or I have to fight my, like they say, you have to fight your fight again. No, you don't. If you cannot do it, there is help available. And there are so many resources, there are so many things, and there are professionals who can help you. But just be aware of what all can be done. I'm not a social worker, but I was able to provide help. And so there are people, just ask for help, or keep your passion going.
I like that. You see, though.
Protect mind, body, and soul. You know me, it's always about elevation. That's it. I'm on that spirit first. We serious about these passions, this work between art and books. Profession of publishing carries more than just the fact of this is a physical copy, but what you receive from this needs to be more than this physical copy. You know what I'm saying? So in everything that we do, we touch, know it's to breathe.
Yes.
You must take that breath.
Must take that breath. Well, this has been good. I'm glad you guys came in.
Yes.
This has been really good. I've enjoyed listening to the stories.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I've enjoyed listening to, as you talk about walking in purpose. That is key. It's key. And I think of you as purpose, and I think of you as support, because that's what you guys focus on. And I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, well,
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for having
having
us.
us.
Yeah.
Because you guys are doing an amazing job. So thank you so much. You have been tuned into The Perspective. I am going to be back for another great show next week. You'll be joining us. Hopefully you'll be joining us, but we're going to be tuning out tonight. And do you guys have any other things to say before we leave?
Find our books online.
There you go.
Wherever you know our
yes.
notifications
Oh, yes.
are. You can find us on our websites.
Yes.
elevation.com. You can find us on Amazon.
Absolutely.
You also can find some of our books at local bookstores. Shout out to Fulton Street Books and Coffee.
Yes.
And prepare, because we got a busy summer.
Yes.
Look for we have a few dates coming up next month. I'm gonna do this. April 22nd is Earth Day, which is Saturday, which is my daughter's birthday, but I got something special going down. May 19th. No, it's May 18th.
Uh-huh.
Got something else special going. June 10th, we got something going.
Gotcha.
So
And
this
then,
is
then you
awesome.
have
this
an
is
interview on May.
well, that's separate. That's
which one?
separate. That's
Yeah.
separate. And then that's it. So, but we're pushing front office. Go get your copy. Go get your copy of Visions Beyond Measure,
Measure.
Yes.
and it's all in
Yep.
elevation.
Absolutely.
So how
I'm-
can one follow you?
I was
Miss
just
Luana?
about to say I'm on Facebook under Luana Bumpus Harris. I'm on Instagram under I am Luana.Michelle. The book, you can find it on Amazon, and I'm also on LinkedIn under Luana Harris. That's more of the professional arena. So and LuanaMichelle.com is where you can get more information about me and the services that I provide.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot to plug those. You can find me at CNote, CNOTEX, on every platform, as well as at Black Pearl Diamonds Publishing.
Okay.
And our book is available on Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Read.
Read.
Right.
Read. It's important and it's
Mhm.
popular.
Mhm.
So once again, you guys have been tuned into The Perspective. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you to the guests that have come in and shared your stories and your journey on being authors. It's been really good hearing everything you guys had to say. So hopefully you guys will be coming back soon, telling us about the success of your book,
Yes.
and diving deep into it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you so much. We are tuning out for the night. This has been The Perspective, a show where we discuss candidly and share openly about thought-provoking topics that affect our community. And we are out.
Thank you.